expensive right now, but I'd like to issue a challenge to some of the tech people here that to think about creating lower cost SAR and attaching it to the satellites and the nanosatellites that are out there. A lot of the satellite technologies are also undergoing this sort of revolution, and within the next few years, with a whole host of satellite companies coming out, Skybox, EarthCast, Planet Labs, the ability to detect boats real time should be around the corner in the next few years. And I thought it was interesting that Inmarsat was offering free plane tracking, and that they required a few instruments on the planes, but that's clearly obviously available. And then we have UAS in development here at Google and Facebook. And Latitude Engineering has a really neat UAS that can is sort of a hybrid quadcopter fixed wing. So you can take off and land with the capability of quadcopter, but yet have the distance capabilities of fixed wing UAS. And there are ASVs for persistent surveillance. They range from 2 to 600K. They're sort of outside the scope of the low-cost options, but you can imagine that for only a couple $1 million, you can test all these things with sail drone has the Richard is here, Randy is here, Waveglider is here, and Sea Bureau. I don't know if they're here, but these are all ASVs that have different speeds. Some of them can be used, most of them go 5 knots, but I believe WAMD goes 30 knots. And Isabella's here, so you can talk to her. So what are the next steps? I researched these technologies sort of in a bubble, but obviously the next step is to talk to the law enforcement folks, many of whom are here in the room, and see what options actually are realistic and what options you've actually had experience with. We need to verify that these technologies do indeed provide evidence that are good enough to use in court. I'm assuming that they would because it works for traffic cops. It should also work for the